How's it going, people? Welcome to this week's edition of the Locker Room right here on Top 6 Fan TV. The champions of England have been crowned, ladies and gentlemen. By this time, you know we are talking about the citizens, the light blues, whatever you will call them, Manchester City. And with me in the virtual studio to dissect that, I have an overload of Arsenal fans. The tears will flow, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, being poked by a Manu fan, a cheeky Manu fan, and we'll get into it after this.
Bukayo Saka! Anthony! Salah! Beautiful from Aubameyang! Bang! There goes Haaland. He's on.
Fantastic. You are most welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining the show for the first time, do feel free to hit that subscribe button. Enjoy the show, drop your comment, and we'll be happy to read through it and get you involved in the discussion. I'll kick off the intros with Mr. Omar, Arsenal fan. You're most welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Brilliant. We have a Tweedney, the Red Devil, Manchester United lad. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. It's always fun being on the show.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure you'll enjoy this one. He's
Definitely.
itching. You can see the man is itching. And new to the show, we have Mr. Elifaz Ibulabe, or otherwise known as Faz. You are most welcome to the show. You can unmute and say hi to the guests.
Yes, I'm sure happy to be here. It is sad times indeed, but yeah, as the saying goes, next season is ours.
There we go. Battle lines have been drawn. The Arsenal will return next season, as you can see. I like the energy first, but before that, we really have to ideally, guard of honor, ladies and gentlemen, guard of honor for citizens, the noisy neighbors, as Mr. Atwine would call them. But, great result there for them. The Red Devils coming on to hand over. Enjoy a peek of what it smelled like to hold silverware from across the fence. The boys in blue celebrating 1-0 victory over Chelsea with the second string team for City, not necessarily handing them the title, but we know obviously with Arsenal losing to Nottingham Forest before that, a day before that, it was virtually sealed, and it was a celebratory, environment for them. And Umar, I'll bring you in. Your take on Manchester City. They're on for the treble. Obviously, before this fantastic result for them midweek in the Champions League, swatting aside Real Madrid at the Etihad. They're in the final of the FA Cup against Manchester United. Are they taking this trophy, this treble, third title in 3 years?
Personally, I think they're going to take the treble because I think it's the most balanced team in Europe at the moment. I know the Manchester game is a derby. You never know what happens, but honestly, this side City side is sick. Defensively, they're good. Midfield, they're good. Attack, they're amazing. You can't find a fault in their current team. I was watching the game on Wednesday against Madrid, and they were battering Madrid. And this is the European champions. Okay, I know it's not it has an aging guys and what, but they're still good. They're still amazing. The way they brushed away PSG and all those other sides previously. It's a strong side still, and the way they dominated it was I had see. I know football is football. Inter Milan could come and surprise everyone. Everyone is not. Actually, people are actually backing on more on Man U stopping the treble than Inter, but I don't know how you're gonna stop this team when it smells blood. It's I think the best team Guardiola has assembled for
Second
Manchester
best.
City.
Hey, that's a
Manchester
debate.
City.
Okay, for City.
Barcelona,
Okay.
I think in the Man City teams he has had, I think he's best. So I don't know how they're gonna stop it, and deservedly. I like the way he changed strategies. He has abandoned the fullbacks. Keeps revolutionizing football, and I can see people are all starting to copy. I saw Klopp also started doing the midfield. I see Trent these days is more of a midfielder. Arsenal copied it, and
Inverted fullbacks, eh?
yeah, all of them are learning.
Inverted fullbacks moving.
Yeah, inverted fullback.
No, but for Pep, it's inverted fullback and inverted centre back. John Stones. John Stones playing the center of the park. I mean, Atwine, do you expect Ten Hag to try this revolution, as Umar has called it, in the coming season?
Umal, first of all, I'm sure it's been a very, very hard season for Arsenal fans. The last time I was here, I was forced to admit that Arsenal was going to take the trophy, and I gave it to them. I gave it to you guys. You have let down the whole football universe by giving away the trophy. This time, I will say that Arsenal has given away the trophy. We have to be honest. You guys had a phenomenal lead, and somehow you topped it, and we have to give it to you guys in giving away trophies. I was hoping Man City wouldn't take it, but then on the other hand, I would rather City takes it than Arsenal take it, because we're not going to be able to sleep. As with tactics, football is a very tricky game. Barcelona has this whole season, taken as a whole, had the upper hand against Real Madrid. They took the La Liga way earlier, even much more better than what Man City is doing in the Premier League. Yet Manchester United beat Barcelona. So football is a tricky game. The way I believe Manchester United can actually stop Man City from taking the treble, because we're not going to undermine them. Manchester United can stop Man City because we're not going to undermine them. We know Pep. We have played against him. Manchester United's record against Man City is not the worst. I think the problem is that Real Madrid underestimated Man City. They thought, this is Champions League. We have taken this trophy very many times. It's our trophy, and we are going to, beat them the same way last time they were lucky. They got a draw in the first leg. Now we're going to kill it off. But Manchester United will not underestimate these guys. Ten Hag will not do that. Pep is going to face a fully fledged Manchester United. We got out of Europa because we did not have, say, Casemiro. He was away on injury. We did not have the two centre backs at the time we played in Europe. But this is a fully fledged Manchester United team. I believe Rashford will be available. So I believe we can.
Just even slot Phil Jones into that center.
Yeah,
you put 12 men. Yeah. We shall see what will happen. We'll see.
Yes. But I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be a slaughter like it was in the Champions League or how they played Arsenal. Manchester United on the starting 11 is actually a very, very strong team. If you look back at the beginning of the season, many of us did not predicted that Manchester United would. Many of us thought Manchester United would, compete for the Premier League. It's Arsenal that has overperformed. No one knew they would become second. But a strong, full Manchester United squad against Man City, I think it is going to be a good run for the money, and it will be a good show in the.
I
in
think
the
so.
FA.
Let me bring in Faz here, or Eli Faz, as you called him. Eli Faz, do you agree with that assessment that Arsenal bottled the league? I'm using the word bottled because I've had it thrown around on various media, especially coming out of the UK. Basically, threw away the title. What was your take on that?
Yes, actually, I've been telling people around, to everyone that has been asking me this. Man City didn't win the English title. They didn't. It is Arsenal that lost it. You get it? Because just maybe on the way they won it and their aspects throughout the whole season, I think there are something like 3 factors that you might think of and be like, no. Like seriously, Man City this season, they came for admission. You can see the way Guardiola had a plan. He wanted, first of all, he wanted committed players. He lost Cancelo, one of his best players from last season. Just like that. He was ready to let Zinchenko go for peanuts, as well as Gabriel Jesus, because he knew what he wanted. The way he lost that Champions League final last season, there was zero dedication towards the end of that Real Madrid game. This season, it has been very different. Arsenal wasn't going to compete with that, whether in the league or anywhere. Nothing like that. We weren't ready for it. And this guy, Guardiola, has been building this team for over 5 years. Just one mission. Because now the league title is like a cup of porridge for him right now. But the Champions League, he really wants that, and he built a very good core team right now. In that, if it was going to compete in the Premier League, which is very weak for him right now, no Premier League team can compete against Guardiola right now. But if they're going to go to the Champions League, they're going to put a really stake on there. You understand? It's going to be hard for everyone. Even Real Madrid couldn't. They couldn't. They really tried, but they capitulated in the second leg. What does that show? I think Man City for the Premier.
The squad is not ready.
Yeah. And Manchester United don't have hope. Don't.
Yeah, they're actually 12. They are 12 points behind, but they still believe they can win the title. So we'll wait and see. Let me pull in Umar. I mean, we're talking about the title here, right? Of course, fantastic season for Guardiola. You must take your hat off to him and his Citizens team. Obviously, being, I think I agree with the assessment that it's his best Manchester City squad, the one that he has assembled, and most balanced squad. But also, you'd say most balanced, but you also see what he's doing with some, what we have called revolutionizing some tactics within the game, before the game, within the game, switching play. We've seen Arsenal try the inverted fullback with Zinchenko this season to great effect. Guardiola has done that and more, bringing in the inverted center back. So you can imagine, what more does Arsenal need to do next season? I know all the attention is going to turn to the summer transfer window there. Names have been thrown around. Xhaka could be leaving. People are looking at Caicedo, looking at Declan Rice, and I know we'll have more. We'll have subsequent shows focusing on that. But what do you think Arsenal missed that Manchester City have that they can add to their squad in the summer?
Well, first and foremost, I think we lack that experience. I think the majority of these guys are young players, apart from maybe guys who have experience in winning a title before, apart from Jesus and Zinchenko. I don't know. Did Jorginho win the Premier League? No, I don't think.
Yeah, didn't he win it with Mourinho? I think he won it with Mourinho the last time Chelsea won it.
Did he?
20? Was he there yet?
No, he wasn't.
No,
I don't think he
He wasn't there yet.
Was it? Well, no. I think it was actually with Maurizio Sarri. They won the league with Mauricio Sarri, and he's the one who brought
The one with-
Jorginho in from Napoli. Yeah,
Yeah, he was with
I don't
Sarri.
think.
yeah. He won it once.
I
He
think
was
Sarri
with
Sarri
Sarri.
was.
brought-
They won the Europa League with
Sarri
Sarri.
brought,
Yeah, I think.
basically have two people with experience winning it before. So, as opposed to a team like the Manchester City that is full of guys who've been there, done it on a regular basis, back to back, so they know how to handle the pressure that comes with it. I think that players failed to handle the pressure. We crumbled. Right from the second half of the Liverpool game. After that, it was just a horror show. You went to West Ham, you have a 2-goal lead. I don't even know it. You're missing penalties. Players are crying. Maybe the confidence is going to go down. In the last 8 games, in the shadow of the player he was in the first 2/3 of the season. And he was our best player before that. Odegaard as well, he chipped in with the goals, but he wasn't the same Odegaard we saw Saliba going out of the and Tomiyasu, and you have to bring in Holding. These are players who should really not be. You shouldn't be having such players when you're for a title. No offense to him, he's a good player, but no, he's not that class of player that can help you get there.
Got the difference.
So yeah, so it was down to the inexperience, both the players and also the coach. He has a big role to play in all of this. Some of his team selections, Fabio Vieira in the Southampton game, I didn't understand that. The formation we had against Nottingham Forest this weekend, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I've not seen us play that poorly all season. Okay, maybe the Man City game. Yeah, we were just, I don't know what we were doing. I was honestly trying to figure out pattern right back, Kiworin left back. He had no idea of what he was doing. Shaka was lost.
Man, the guy played. He played instead of playing his inverted. He played the inverted team. Not even left back. The guy played the inverted team.
The Brighton game was so bad as well. So no, it has just been a horror show ever since the second half of the Liverpool game. We've choked, and maybe experience for the players. They'll grow, and probably he brings in a couple of better players. I'm hearing we're linked with Gundogan. I think it would be a perfect addition to the team. He'll bring a lot of experience, a lot of composure. I hope we get him. Declan Rice as well, and then probably need a forward. I don't think Jesus is a person who's going to get you 20 goals a season. He's a good hard worker and what. But I don't know how many seasons is. I think he usually does 15. So you can't have a striker who's doing 15 goals and competing with the likes of Rashford, who have been playing primarily on the wing most of the season. You need a top-class striker to win a league, and probably he needs to go and get that. I'm no offense to Jesus, but I don't think he's
not
a
good
striker
enough.
we can. No.
Bench player.
No, we don't. And not bench, he can play on the wing or something, but not as your out-and-out striker. And then the backup is Nketiah. Likewise, he's also an upcoming player. So the onus was now on guard and Saka to get in goals. But just so Haaland carried the City team in some of those difficult games and gets you some of it. The other guys can chip in, but you need a main man as well up top. Yeah, so that was it. I think if he gets, it's a learning curve. So maybe the players will learn from it. I hope it doesn't damage them completely. And because some of them, I've seen some of them have really been very poor in the last games. The fighting spirit is not there. Yeah, I think that's football.
They need to take those guys to. They need to take them. They need to take them to the Kakunguru Stadium for some drills, man. Yeah? Let's bring in some comments here from a few of our watchers or audience. Was that Kevin Micah saying that posture of MA spoke volumes? I think he meant Mikel Arteta. He knew that he knew at that point that the Premier League had slipped out of his hands. However, this spirited performance by Arsenal was epic. Calls to City. He goes on to say, let's acknowledge the fact that Arsenal boys got tired towards the last laps. They'd really outdone themselves. The Brighton game, man, was the lowest for me. And this is a well-wisher, so to speak, Arsenal sympathizer. Continue to drop your comments, ladies and gentlemen, watching in the virtual audience, and we will definitely bring you into that. Fatigue, he claims, and Arsenal came up short. We'll see what happens next season, but the attention does now shift to a very interesting top 4 title race. Well, not title race. The race for Champions League football, ladies and gentlemen. First and second is secured. Third and fourth are up for grabs. An interesting result over the weekend laid bare that drama. Bournemouth hosting Manchester United. Casemiro with the only goal of the game, sealing it for Manchester United, and as some would say, all but sealing their place in the top 4. Liverpool, who needed to win to keep abreast and keep the pressure up going to the final game of the season, were only able to actually draw. Aston Villa there, Calvin Ramsey there with the goal. And Jacob Ramsey with the goal there for Aston Villa. And Bobby Firmino in his last game at Liverpool at Anfield, equalizing for the Red Devils. And despite 10 minutes of additional time, that was not enough to see Liverpool score and keep up the pressure on Manchester United. And Newcastle, who actually had a very impressive result as well on over the weekend. Fantastic result for them. They beat up on Brighton, the same Brighton that harassed Arsenal. And you're wondering what is going on in this league. And it's all looking like a tight race for the top 4 is now starting to look a little bit clearer. We know who the first 2 are. Newcastle in third place, 37 games played, 70 points. Manchester United played a game less on 69 points. Liverpool are on 37 games played on 66 points. So it will take Manchester United dropping points twice, basically losing their last 2 games, which I don't see happening. Atwine, what do you take of this? Newcastle, I would see if it looks like the goal difference does look like it is. Liverpool have sold themselves a bit short. They have a better goal difference than Manchester United, but we don't see Manchester United finishing with 2 losses towards the end of the season. Atwine, what's your take on that?
Well, I agree with you. Manchester United cannot lose the last 2 games. This is the easiest task. All they need is 1 point to be secured of their position in Champions League football. But that is for this season, and I think it's a given. I would also like to add that for Manchester United playing in Champions League football, well, that's where the team belongs. Same for Arsenal, same for the only visitor we have now in the top 4 is going to be Newcastle. I don't see Liverpool catching. Yes, it's going to be Newcastle. Liverpool cannot. It's going to miss out on the big stage. And I mean, for a long time, we're used to having Arsenal also participate in the Champions League until they came. You guys were 8th last season, and so Liverpool has to. Liverpool is also going to face the music. They're going to play in Europe. That's a good thing. They will play in Europa. I think they would have to go with that. And there's a lot of work to be done. I also want to go back to the question you asked Umal earlier, what can be done next season? And then you guys talked about the need to do the shopping. But you also need to appreciate that all the other teams are going to look for new players. Especially Manchester United, there's a lot that is being spoken about the team as and the club as a club, we are hoping to get new owners, which should be a given. So Manchester United is looking to also do the shopping. So the next title race is actually, you might not have to consider only Arsenal. You're going to have to factor in that all the other teams are going to go shopping. Same with Liverpool. Liverpool is in trouble because they're not going to have Champions League football. But for the teams that are closest to the top 3 or 4 teams now, it's actually Liverpool. Chelsea, we can no longer talk about Chelsea. Newcastle is also, I mean, with the new owners, Newcastle is going to go all out shopping. It's going to compete again. They have, I mean, 3rd place for Newcastle. That's a very big achievement for them. I believe Manchester United will chip it though. Will take 3rd spot, and then Newcastle will be 4th. It's the most likely.
So Liverpool come up short in your prediction.
No, Liverpool will come up short by all means. They cannot. I mean, this is for Manchester United to lose. It's not for Liverpool to win. Yeah, especially the Champions League football.
Before I bring in my man Faz, comment coming in from Mr. J&K. You're concerned about Umar. Is my man Umar? Of course, Nisha's there. Is my man looking okay? Someone check on him, man. Liverpool fans are having us, man. After missing out
on Champions League football.
I don't know why the violence, John. I don't know why. Yeah. Emotional damage. Faz, let me bring you in. You had a comment on what Twina mentioned.
Yes, Twina was saying that clubs are going to be investing next season, but you just don't invest without a plan. We've seen that with Chelsea. We've also seen that with Manchester United. You invested without a plan. That is for sure.
Perennially.
Clubs like Newcastle is going to be a good team next season. If they invest, because I think they already have a plan and it's already visible. Man City is also going to be another problem, as well as Arsenal. I think my 3 teams are Newcastle, Arsenal, and Man City. Liverpool still has a lot of things to do. That midfield, too stinky. Manchester United, not so much. Chelsea, they have a lot of woeful problems. Yeah, I think that will set off the league next season. That is my prediction.
Interesting. And since you kicked off the predictions, as we come to the end of the show, let me pull in Umar, who I mean, people are checking on you, man. Your predictions for how the top 6 ends next season in light of the new dynamics. We have spoken about the other teams strengthening. Manchester United will strengthen. Liverpool will have to sort out their midfield. We know they're going to strengthen. Chelsea have just appointed Pochettino. We know there'll be a more stable outfit. Arsenal are looking for those players to put the finishing touches. Manchester City are going to strengthen perfection, as we're all calling it right now. How does your top 6 look like next season from 1st to 6th? Very quickly, and we'll go around as we bring the show to a close. Okay. Champions next season.
I would definitely. I'm gonna be biased about that, but but no, okay. I would still go with. I think Man City is still the stronger side.
Man, be strong, man. Be strong.
But then I'll go with Arsenal, then Man City, then Liverpool, and Man U. As those are my 4 contenders next season.
Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Man U. Who finishes the other 2?
Yes, Newcastle, yes, but I don't know how they're going to handle the Champions League and I think Spurs
balance
as well.
In the Champions League, yeah. You have left Chelsea, man. You know Chelsea?
Chelsea actually
Chelsea with Pochettino.
Europe, and if they got a good coach,
Europe,
galvanize them to even go for the top 4. Spurs, if Hurricane, I don't think there'll be a contender for the top 6. If it stays,
I think Hurricane is leaving this summer. I don't see him staying. Kevin Micah going on to say, I see a very competitive league next season. I am pretty sure all the clubs that will play European football will go shopping this summer. I don't hear you guys looking at Arsenal expanding their squad. I believe that is the expectation. Atwine, your top six champions.
Well, top six, the trophy will stay at Manchester. Definitely, I would say Manchester United is going to compete this time around because we are going shopping. Man City will come second. Man City will come second.
For the title.
Yes, Manchester United is coming for the title. Because I mean, what did Manchester United lack this season? It was only squad depth. The problems we had were as a result of injuries, were a result of the red cards that Casemiro got. That's why we didn't compete so strongly. So Manchester United is going to be number one.
And we look forward to more red cards. Please factor in the red cards.
More red cards. Now we need to buy replacements for the first team. We need a good quality second team. And that's very easy. There are not so many positions that we need to fill in now. We also need a formidable striker. Hopefully, Harry Kane will come and join us. So if Manchester United is number one, Man City is going to be number two. Arsenal will come number three. Number four is going to be Newcastle. Number five, Liverpool. I'll squeeze in Liverpool. Sixth position. Sixth position, I would have wanted Chelsea to take the sixth, but their soccer has been very, very terrible. Spurs.
No. Different Spurs, different Chelsea next season. Both will have new managers and a transfer window. So,
if Spurs sells Harry Kane, then they will probably buy like two more good players, and I would see Spurs take sixth position. Chelsea has a lot of work to do, and Chelsea still has a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Fantastic. Faz, you kicked off the predictions, and we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you for that. Thank you for joining. It's been a fantastic last half hour also, and we will catch up, gentlemen. Let's now put our legs up. The season is done. We have one more round of fixtures. The only drama that we do expect is on the relegation side. It does look like Liverpool has run out of steam to present a formidable shock or drama within the top four qualification race on the last day of the season. So we will leave it at that. Champions Manchester City, congratulations again. Hard luck, Arsenal. Perhaps next time. And have a great rest of the week. Do take care, people. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.